Over time, however, if you don't have a careful watch, things that would erode your downtown could happen just as they did to Fort Pierce. 20 years ago, the people of Fort Pierce came together to craft a common vision. There were not as many people in the room as there are here today. This gives me incredible hope. What they were able to pull off, and you can see it today, is this. And the reason they could do it is the original bones, structure of the streets pointing to the water were in place. You still have those corridors available to you. You need to protect them, preserve them, put them together, and allow these incredible vista points to come forward. People love water. I have throughout all of human history. They love to have it as a destination. They love to have it to fall in love, to have great solitary moments and memories and thoughts. They want their parks to give them all of the things that they would see here in the Pacific Northwest. I think one would be sunshine, right? And other times, just again, places to go with a grandchild. A vista point where you can look out and see and discover. Now these are fake rocks; they're not real. But this gentleman leaning against them probably doesn't have a clue. And so there are things you can do to really craft waterfronts to make them treasures. On our walk today, we suggested that all children throughout all of history have had to always touch what? Water. So think about that as you start to work through your park. And seriously, it can be the actual sea or the sound, or it could be fresh water that flows. People want to look out. And these are all just ideas people have put in. By the way, after the big hurricane in Charleston, Mayor Joe Riley, the first thing he did after they cleaned up the mess was built this beautiful new dock or pier. And one of the things he put on that pier was about 60 swings. And he told me after 8 years, he still could not find time where a bench or a swing was open, that he actually got the swing on them himself. So think of all the things you would do for everybody, and also, I don't know if that's a native bird or not, so I'll confess my ignorance, but at any rate, to enjoy all seasons, all times. People in Portland have come to embrace all climates of walking, biking, and so on. Think about how open you want the water to be, whether you want a ceiling and rail or not, and how you'll protect and preserve. This happens to be, I believe it's Cole Harbor in Vancouver. And think about accessibility, how we meet the needs of all people all the time. The real activity we're talking about today is truly the art known as placemaking. How do we create place out of space? And how do we honor that area that we've always had and make it go forward? These are not new ideas. In fact, going back to Abraham Lincoln, he understood the value of placemaking. And so as a recorder, a photographer, throughout history, my history, I gone around and photographed great waterfronts. And I'll keep some of these places secret, that I'll tell you they're in the Pacific Northwest, and let you guess which beach town you'll have to go to discover them. Does everybody go this way?
Port Townsend.
Well, no, that would have been a guess. Over here? The famous writer lives in this town. The Counter. Yeah. Think about a vista point, or how you would craft, and again, your own style of architecture or place would be different than Newport, Rhode Island. It would be different than Waikiki. It would be different than wherever this place is. But it will be you, and it'll be something you, over time, will craft. But the point is, today, you need to give yourself permission to do things that will be celebrated for decades to come. I particularly love this because I can think of all kinds of reasons a risk management officer would say, don't do that. At the same time, I'd say, no, do it. And just use some care in how you pull it off. And but children have to see fish, even if they're sculpted. They have to be able to jump from rock to rock. They have to be able to hear the water. and have the sheer pleasure or enjoyment of adventure. All of these places are nearby. None are more than 100 miles away. This is, by the way, a very special way. You have grade. When I was celebrating what you have the opportunity to do here, so many towns wouldn't begin to be able to do these things as we do. Think about our elders. Think about how important it's going to be as we get older to take walks on a very regular basis. Think of the materials you might prefer. Some of your trails you want to be a little faster, some slower. You can be very careful about picking those materials that would work for you. The famous Erie Canal, they always think through getting some commercial activity along the canal in order to address security. When you have eyes on a place, it really helps people want to come. It could be a restaurant. And again, people want to overlook water. They want to protect the water and to enjoy it and appreciate it. I think it's important as we go through these, I'm trying to go through them fairly quickly just to set the stage so we can get into our activities in a moment, Jonathan. Is think of all the waterfronts you have so enjoyed and have helped set your imagination. Think of all the uses you have today, those that are growing and changing, the use of the water, the appreciation of place, and again, it's your canvas, it's your gift to the future. But here I want to get across a very key point. Everyone in this room, and there are many professions represented, every one of you is a designer. Think about Key West. Who laid out and built Key West? Pirates. On average, how many years of design school does a pirate go through? That's my point. They use common sense. So as you talk among yourselves and reach a common ground, think about common sense. And by the way, their part of the town, which is only 20% of the landmass, makes 80% of the money of the entire island. The rest of the space, designed by college graduates, only makes 20% of the money. The streets don't drain well. The seawall's not being maintained. What do you do when you get off of this bus? Bet. Swing to Cuba. And what in the world does that arrow mean, anyway? So use common sense. Build to the beauty of your water. Think of day and night uses. Think of how you will acquire, protect, preserve the waterfront for people first. And truly work out lots of partnerships and lots of deals. But don't let anything stop you from thinking big, thinking broad. Many of your ideas, you will be amazed, you will achieve. Because once you're together, nothing can stop you. You can broker deals on what kinds of additional commerce you need, connectivity. I'll just share, again, a few more parts. But all of these places, no one would have imagined just a few years before they got built. And this happens to be right out in the middle of the plains of Canada. And it's just a beautiful way of acknowledging that things across the water are as important as the things that are more immediate. You have incredible knowledge in this community. You have many successes that you can build upon now. And let's make this afternoon the time that we go forward and work in the groups, come up with the ideas to set the stage for then the meeting at the end of June. We probably have to get a bigger room. And go forward and think of all those who have not come yet, how you'll honor nature, how you'll bring about social exchange and help build the economy and give yourselves the most special gift of the possible abilities of dreaming a big future. So with that, I'm going to be listening in, and I'm going to pull together special tools based on the conversations I hear for a final, a little bit of a closing, and then leave all the imaging and everything for the community. And with that,